Kia ora e te whānau. So this is my little top 10 of my storage organisation tips that I can give you. I can't promise that there'll be anything in here that is exceptionally different or something that you haven't seen before, but I thought it would be good for beginners. My craft room, as most of you know, is in my bedroom. So I have to be a little bit particular about being able to find stuff and sleep in it. So I am very lucky to have the storage unit, bookshelf, whatever you'd like to call it, and this is really helpful. So I've got a lot of wall space in my room, so this is just one way that I store. Now let's get into my top 10. Number 10. So my little pieces of fabric just sit like this. Neat little piles, folded so that I can see what I need to grab and when I need to grab it. I don't have a huge amount of little pieces, so at the moment they just sit like this, and when they get out of control I will have to think of a better way of doing it. My larger pieces, however, I have a lot of them, so the easiest way to store them was in a filing cabinet. I just store them like this, easy to flip through, really easy to find what I need when I need it, and lots of room. Number 9. Okay, so findings. Now, while I find this helpful, have you ever dropped one? Because I have. Absolute nightmare. So I actually prefer one of these, and I can quite easily see what I need to grab out. And if this were to drop, even if it were to drop and pop open, these are less likely to open. So that would be my top tip for findings, and I have 4 of these. Number 8. So my lace trims live here, and they are really easy to find. I have a deck of playing cards that I cut in this shape, like little bobbins, and all of my lace trims are on those, making it really easy to find what I need. And yes, I have 2 drawers full of those. Number 7. By now you've probably seen I've got a few of these different metal storage containers in my room. This one is for all my playing cards. And I just find the A4 size and the flat nature of them really handy, as well as the fact that I don't really mind the look of them. They are easy to label on the outside. As you can see, I've still got a little bit of labelling to do. I just got these recently. But they seem to fit our little bits and pieces really well. Number 6. So I store my antique ephemera on top of my storage unit, and these are the categories I like to put them in. Handwritten, so that's letters and documents with handwriting. Photos, ephemera, other, we've all got a box like that. Receipts, old envelopes, postcards, and documents that are typed. And these are my ledgers, either written on or blank, but I like them easy to reach, not in a box because they're very large, and I just find this is the easiest way to store them. Number 5. Now this one might seem really obvious, but it took me a while to figure this one out. Although clear containers aren't particularly pretty, they are really easy to find things. I found I labelled some of them, and I never even used the labels because visually I could see what was in them straight away. So where possible, I use clear, and if not, I label. Number 4. An old letter holder. I love this thing. It looks cool too, I think. This is where I store most of my, yes, hello needles, hello everybody, bits and pieces that I don't really know what to do with, but it kind of categorises them. So I've got a little station of fussy cuts here. I have lots of tag bases in this one. Forward, I just have little bits that I will use, but I don't quite know what to do with yet. And some pockets and things. I don't do a lot of mass making, so I guess this is how I store my mass making. A couple of laminated flower pieces, and in the back I've just got all of my original artworks, bits and pieces. That's where I store those, ready to pop into journals. But I quite like the way that looks, and it's quite handy for the bits that you just want to grab straight away. The box of things I have in reach that I use all the time. It's not anywhere special, it's pretty much right with me. These things do not get put back into their own special places because I would just have them out all the time. So no, it doesn't normally even look this tidy. So I've got my staples, I've got a large stapler and a little stapler. I have that's the tag cutter that cuts the rectangle slots. If you haven't got one of these staplers, I would get one. It means that you can punch into the middle of signatures without having to worry about, I just got that off Temu, how you're going to get into the centre of it. My circle punch, my tag punch, my tab punches, and of course this guy needs no introduction, and my leather eyelet punch, which has a greater selection of holes that it can punch, whereas this guy only has the large and the small option. And of course this guy, which rounds corners. So that's my box that sits to the left of me all the time where I sit to craft. I also have my, I don't know if you can see that, Singer sewing drawer. I've got a set of 6 of these that sit to my left as well, and this one is the example of my inks, just the brown ones that I use for all the ink edging. I don't actually know where my foam dauber is. It'll be around here somewhere, but that's where these live, right nice and close to me. Any of my coloured ones I just store separately because I don't use them as often. They can go away in a special place because I only get them out every now and then, but these guys I reach for every single time I craft. And this little guy, he was just off Temu, really helpful. So that's just got my awl, snips, tweezers, an eraser, all sorts of different pens for drawing, pencil for marking, an extra glue stick, and in the back there's a couple of pairs of pliers missing, but they normally just sit there. I've got my long nose and my shorter ones, and the scissors, they always sit next to me as well, and my little glue station, nice and easy to reach. Number 2. Okay, storing my silicone stamps, I find this is the easiest way to do it. So all I do is I buy old DVDs, pick them up cheap as chips, especially off Marketplace. Obviously the stamps stay in there nicely, and I just reverse the title because it's usually white on the other side. Then I pop one of the plastic sides of the stamp in so that I know the picture, and then I usually just make a label as well that makes sense to me as to what's in it so that I know what I'm looking for, and that's how I store those. Now I wish I could say this last idea was mine, but it wasn't. It was actually Rochelle's. All my pretty little things that I like to have on display, I just buy little containers, glassware, things that I wouldn't mind having in my room, and I pop all my pretty little things in these containers just from the op shop, and they sit on my shelf and they look pretty at the same time. So there's my top 10 tips for storage organisation if you happen to have a small craft room or a craft room that happens to be in your bedroom like I do. Like I said, I'm not saying it's anything that you didn't know already. I'm just hoping that some people who are struggling or some people who are just starting off might might get some really good tips and something that they might be able to use. So until next time, when I will be crafting something or showing another journal, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Mā te wā.